Alright. Hope you're doing very well today for joining us early for the disco lightning Sassoon's intro music. Maybe it was just a down moment or a loop moment on the music, and thinks it sounds like Outer Wilds. I wonder when that Outer Wilds rumored DLC is gonna release. It's already listed on the store, so it seems like it should be fairly soon, but it's been a while. Alright. Moth in bed, she keeps the wind out. So yeah, this is after we did the dream sequence, yes?
Spring mattress lies in the corner.
Yes, anytime.
You don't have to be a hero.
You don't have to be a hero. What happens if we try to sleep again?
It's better to get back to the mainland. Rest
Right.
there. You've earned it.
Rest there, you've earned it. Okay, I was gonna say, I don't think it would let us sleep again. So we had the big sequence last time where we imagined our ex-wife as Dolores Day, and that was a big thing. And now we've got some books, a lot of books actually. What's this that we can pick up though? A new +2 empathy scarf, -1 composure. Now our composure's only 2 anyway. So yeah, we could replace Inland Empire and Volition with empathy. Get our empathy to 8, lower our Inland Empire to 6, lower our Volition to 5. It's an option available now. Maybe we need empathy for some of these last conversations, or I assume last conversations. Oh, and here's another one to pick up. The Fawn shirt, +1 hand-eye coordination. Boost that to 6. As opposed to, I think, our physical... Oh, no, I've got drama +1. Okay. Alright, let's check the one on the chair first.
Floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized.
Sift through the books.
Are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures.
Animal Adventures.
Popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists T&T Harpin, husband and wife. Widely read by people from all walks of life. Who doesn't like nature? Who doesn't want to survive?
Man versus nature. Who would play this game without encyclopedia? Psh.
Among what is mostly
Rogue, good to see you. Span out with Scruff.
stories, you find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp. Light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders.
Circuit benders? What's a circuit bender versus like a circuit breaker? Light erotica. Hey, it's Yeti. Yeti ready for light erotica? Yeti was mentioning I don't know which one it was, but a erotica game getting updated the other day.
Someone's made themselves a home.
Conceptualization heroic. 58%. +1 all things communist. I think we can boost our conceptualization score, though. We've got a conceptualization shirt for sure. And we've got, yeah, conceptualization shirt and jacket. I don't know if we have other conceptualization stuff, but those two should help a lot.
Soft covers, serialized fantastic
83% chance.
Stories.
Adrian, also good to see you. Hell yeah, erotica.
Engineering and an international thriller. Also,
+1 all things communist. Agent says, Save, why can't I sub to the Variety Channel? Because as long as the Variety Channel is not affiliated, which would lead to you being able to subscribe, there should be no ads here. There should be no ads here, so that's why this channel I've never affiliated it. And now, if in the distant future, like in 12 years from now, this channel could reach partner status, well, we might do that, but that would take a long time. This channel is like 10% of the way of partner status.
Oh yes, under the bed. There is a rather extensive collection of critical theory, that is, dour, life non-affirming left-wing literature, published by small imprints such as Abattoir Firm and Ouzia. It's not exactly light reading.
Not exactly light reading. Look, Kim, powerful communist theory, rigorous and truthful. Look, Kim, deranged commie ranting. Look, Kim, downbeat dribble for people who can't get stuff done. Look, Kim, a book. Left wing. I have no comments, do you? Well, you could call it the boring cop option, which we've done. But Kim will never say no. I have no. Yes. Big into the communism now, says Kim.
Ooh, yeah. Humanitarian sciences stands out. Not a lot of critical theory around in Ravachol West anymore.
Your incendiary remark has failed to provoke him.
Need you back later. Well, I didn't make an incendiary remark. I said I have no comments to you. He says, son, ad show up for here. Legendary. Legendary ads.
After all.
Alright. Kids dig this stuff. There was plenty of it in the students' room at the apartment building. Alright.
That one student did have some, yes. It's still out of the ordinary.
Still out of the
The
ordinary.
little books seem inconsequential next to the big pile of frivolous entertainment covering them.
Well, we can still say, what do you think this means?
Again, I am not a philosopher, but whoever has lived here, they have some education and a certain set of interests.
Big communist interests and light erotica.
Interesting.
Okay. I mean, obviously this is all coming back. All coming back to the concept of, communism. Love did the mercenary in, but communism killed them.
Soft covers.
Oh. These are actually all connected. I didn't realize. I thought we had 3 separate book things, but it's all one thing. Okay. We've already looked at the generator. This is... Oh, I can't look at it from over here. This requires perception. Got some morale heal and some money. And some more morale heal. This great blast door must weigh over 10 tons. Rust peels off of it.
You see a small metal door nested inside a larger one. A heavy steel blast door. There is a conventional keyhole above the handle. It's very small.
Close the blast doors. Open the blast doors. Open the blast doors. What's on the other side?
Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable.
How do we open this?
Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open?
No, this one has a keyhole.
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
You're right, we opened the big one. Do you see any controls anywhere? No, this isn't one more door. We're opening it. I find it's not opening highly unlikely. Sure, you're right. We don't have to open it. We're opening it.
Alright, I retract my statement. It was naive. Let's look around and get it open.
Open the blast door. Open the blast door. Alright. I want to look at this thing, but we apparently have to do it from the bridge. Botch Petra so hard. So I had to go back to making her flyer. Oh, big botch. Petra was so good at critting, at least in my playthrough. Boy, I'm having a real hard time looking at this thing. There we go. This was once an armament rest. Okay. And yeah, Disco's been dead for 40 years. In the game here, I think Disco's only been dead for like 15 years? Careful, these stairs have collapsed. Alright, so we can't go down there, apparently. Oh, no, we can go under the bridge, right? Oh, and there's a blue thought right here. Twin cannons were attached here. Medium distance, large caliber. Yeah. So we get like a logic or an encyclopedia thought related to the first look. This hatch is jammed shut. So there's a blaster over here. There's a hatch shut here. A lot of closed stuff.
Of the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard.
Run your fingers across the keyboard.
Keys rattle like teeth. This keyboard hasn't been functional in decades.
What is it?
The console of an anti-computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out, they terminate here.
Could this open the blast door?
Possibly. Urgence, ouvert, allumé, radio diffusé. It sounds like this device was used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does.
This device was used to control the electronics in the room. It could open doors, control lights, function as a radio computer.
Do we not already have lights? Push light interior.
Nothing happens.
Oh, that was weird.
Nothing happens.
Do you hear that?
Nothing happens.
It's like weirdly slowed down.
Nothing happens.
Huh. Slide radio dial.
The dial slides under the glass, silently. You make out defunct stations on the UKV frequency. The words, Feld Insula, are written on the band. An idea lights up in your head.
Challenging logic. Maybe we could contact Suna, the programmer lady. She could open the door for us remotely.
This is an air-gapped system. Of air, I think they call it. That won't work.
Okay. Are you sure?
No, I'm not. But it would not be very good military technology if programmer ladies could control it remotely. Also, it's ancient. Incompatible.
Now, I don't think it's gonna work. I think we need that key. But... let's,
The console is powered off.
save before pressing
We need to
emergency
restore
open.
power before
Right.
using this,
Restore
officer.
power.
We should look around outside. There are barrels all over. Maybe one of them still has something in it.
The boat engine.
The boat engine. Or we could get some fuel from our boat engine.
But officer, then we would have to swim back to the mainland. Let's just look around, okay?
It does look pretty cold around the ice.
Console stands by.
Oh, well, here. Water rushes below, far below. What happens if we say...
Electrical devices do not work without electricity.
Oh, no, I can't. I don't get another chance. We were cut off if we talk about the mainland. So Kim was gonna disagree again for whatever reason. Got some more. They have 1 billion morale heals here on the island, which makes me think we're gonna take some morale damage later. Okay, complaint. We need your flyers to get XP. Map full of bows. That's gonna cause some crits on you. Some big damage. Okay. A firing slit you can't see inside. So we came out here, but only during the dream sequence. Must have taken a direct hit. Take out such a large chunk. Distant sound of cargo ships, signal horns, echo on the water. Any thoughts at the tip here? Nope. Nope. I think we have a unique music track. I don't think this one's come up before. Red check. The pain in your pelvis makes you wince, then you continue. We got shot. Inside the fortress, you can make out the console and the blast door. Weathered artillery map showing the coordinates in the Bay of Revachol. Old medicine cabinet, newly stocked with Dramamine. Alright, so there's a +3 health heal. They're giving us a lot of heals here. Got a fuel canister, although I think it's empty. No, there is still some fuel. Liter or two. Okay.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like 2 eyes in the wall. 2
eyes in the wall. It says, what's up, Save? Well, we're here back in Disco. I wanted to stream it on Tuesday. I was very excited to stream it on Tuesday. But I was too knocked out by the, the second dose of the vaccine. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
Ah, here we go. So here's the triple prime possible firing mark. Inspect the mattress.
Mattress. Modern. Civilian use. Brand name. Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover, along with cigarette burns.
They may catch the game's done quick run of Outer Wilds. That would be crazy quick, because yes, Outer Wilds is a spoilers, I guess, a game that if you know the solution, you can finish in like no time at all. You can just go right to the ending.
And an empty
Oh, it was a 100% run. Okay, well that's very different then. That's very different. Okay. But still only took an hour. Wow, yeah. I don't know exactly how long Outer Wilds took us, but I would venture a guess at, close to 20 hours. Granted, I was reading everything, and I had no idea where I was going. Empty can of beans. Filled to the brim with cigarette butts. Alright. Pick one out of the can, I guess.
The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Moteri.
Tio Moteri came up one other time in the game, and our character said, this may be more important later. But I don't remember the other time it came up.
Contemporary Revacholians prefer Druan, a local blend from the southern islands, or Astra, the legendary cigarette from Grad. Tio Moteri is favored by older men for its paper filter tips, sweet smell, and added tar.
Added tar. I saw the same brand cigarettes extinguished in Land's End, Point West. So I remembered we saw it. And I remember our character made note of it, but I don't remember where it was. It was out at the edge of the fishing village type thing, the extreme northwest. Or actually, isn't it southwest? Because the north-south is flipped. I sure loved Outer Wilds. It was great. Sounds like there's some DLC coming for it. One of the earliest runs before they figured out all the tricks. It was 3.5 hours, which was running around getting everything fast.
Could be a coincidence. Or the same person has visited Land's End and here. I didn't see any signs of smoking inside, though. If people live there, they keep it tidy. This here may also be a smoking spot.
Inspect the wall.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window.
Touch the concrete first, I suppose.
Quite old and grimy, from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain.
Look through the hole.
The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation. A tingling feeling in your stomach.
Trepidation.
A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water. The ruins look familiar.
Trajectories. Left doesn't work, right doesn't work, center works. Although we have to look left or right first. I guess we'll look left.
A towering skyscraper. Its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A and 33B.
What about to the right?
The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the Whirling in Rags, Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10, the doomed commercial area.
So to the right is just across from the Whirling in Rags, so between the two is the Whirling in Rags.
The box-shaped silhouette of the Whirling in Rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop, sunlight reflecting off the upstairs window of Clausia's room.
Well, you could say mother fracker, or you could just say there it is. Or I can't be 100% certain, but just there it is.
Do you have a line of sight to the window?
More than that.
More than that, says sight. Okay, with a pair of binoculars, I would be able to see inside the room. There's an opening between 33A and 10. I can see to the roof. With a pair of binoculars, I'll be able to see inside the room.
A pair of binoculars? Or a scope of a rifle? You'd be prone, lying on a mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure.
Cheek against the cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger, on a calm day like this.
Kim, I could do it. I could make the shot. I don't want to boast. Kim, I could make the shot.
I think we have it, Detective.
Level
the
up.
origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Level up.
Affirmative.
Finally. Better late than never. Why didn't we come here before? Booyah! Master cop work. Fine.
It's only moderately effective cop work until we have the weapon. It will not be, how do you say it? Booyah?
Booyah.
Until we have that.
Booyah. Save when you eat wings. If you used to eat wings, do you eat bone-in or boneless? What's your favorite flavor? I mean, I'll eat bone-in, but bones are just trouble. I'll go for the boneless if it's available. You don't have to think. You can just devour without choking to death. I'll go for ease of use. Forgot. Next dog's battle was the sand one. Oh, yeah. And you're running through, right, from the Golden Deer playthrough to the next playthrough. Like, didn't you do the sand battle? Oh, it was a different playthrough. Could the shooter still be here?
Where?
Hey, Marinese, on this island. Right here! Point at the mattress! Point at me. On this island.
He does not answer, just nods. With
I kind of want to see, you know, right here. Point
says,
yourself.
We should move now.
Can I actually look?
Springs trepid, a small piece of Martinez.
Nah. I was wondering if I could say the other thing anyway. Okay. We should move now. Feel eyes on your back. Someone's watching, but you can't say where. Oh man, are we gonna get shot again? Tired of getting shot. Well, we still don't have the key, but we do have the fuel, so we could open the blast door, I suppose. The winch is broken. Rust is eating what remains of the chain. Looks like we can't go over there. Alright, it looks like we're pretty... oh, there's something now.
Strange feeling, looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea. Leave it all, and walk in.
It's cold. Raise your sight. Shake your head. Why?
Perhaps there's someone there, under the water, waiting for you.
Attached to the chain?
Where it has always been. In front of the video rental, on the corner, at the crossing.
Huh.
Smelling of tutti frutti and betrayal.
Why were we relating under the water to, like, our previous life and our ex-wife? It's cold.
Yes, cold and still. But love is warm, like the inside of her mouth.
Right, so we're still thinking about our ex-wife. Yes, please. No, no, no.
Oh, fuck, yes. Go there in your head. It's been days since you thought about her. A week.
Okay, well, this is super wrong, because you've already done the dream where we just thought about our ex-wife.
No. We're not starting with that. Not now. Not this time. This thought is over.
So your volition stops you. If our volition score was lower, we would start thinking about it, and all we would do is take morale damage, assuredly, but... raise your sight.
In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez, reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water, like shimmering towers. And the shacks too. Pine trees and motor lorries, upside down. Islets and posts, like stepping stones, lead into the water in front of you. Go. Step in. It's been too long.
Shake your head, apparently. Alright, well, we're thinking about the chain going into the water. I wonder how much morale damage we could take there with less volition. Alright, back in here. Now we've got the fuel canister to open the blast door, theoretically. Although we don't have the key. Not having the key is still curious to me. Alright, so we go up to the generator.
This old cylindrical
Fuel it up.
Assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell.
Good fluid-filling sound.
There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch.
Pull the rope.
The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
Full screen shake.
That should do it.
Okay. So now we should be able to use the control console. Oh, right, which we have to run all the way around to reach. Okay.
A dim golden glow animates.
It's on. Turn.
Automatic boot.
Turn emergency open. But what if I push light now?
The lighting in the room turns on with a sizzle. A dim ambient orange. The dial
Now look at the radio one again.
Lights up. You're right. You're not a circuit bender. You don't know about these things.
Circuit bender. Wait, let me try again.
We are better off looking for a mechanism.
Alright, turn emergency open. I did turn the lights on.
Clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
I think I got it. I think I got it. Yes, John. Well, I'm thinking about the blast doors opening in Return of the Jedi. Says yes. Please say the key. Where's the key? I see Catarl, Pig Up. Whew. All this computer hacking stuff. I think I'll store a tab. Oh, no time for that now. The computer's starting. Before, outside, we were walking across the sand. I felt someone watching me. What's there? Pointing to the door. What if we get into another fight? Oh, don't I have my gun out? Before, outside, when we were walking across the field, I felt someone watching me.
So did I. Not back there, but I felt it since we came here.
Okay. What's there? Pointing to the door.
I don't know.
A thin wisp of smoke rises from a charred black fire pit. The wind picks up, then dies down again.
What if we get into another fight?
Don't worry. I have a gun.
Oh, wait, shoot!
A dim golden glow with the door open.
Ah, hold on. I want to redo that. I want to redo that, because there was an option for us to say, I have a gun too, but I neglected to click it.
A dim golden automatic boot. The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
We have to wait again for the opening sequence. This time with the lights off. I'm gonna turn the lights on again anyway.
After you. So did I.
Alright.
I don't know.
A thin wisp of...
Don't worry. I have a gun.
I also have a gun.
I know. It was not easy to acquire.
A dim golden glow. The lighting in the...
Alright, I turn the lights on. I'm gonna run up there really quick to see if the turning the lights on gave us any additional prompts or something. Doesn't look like it. Alright, let's get our gun out, just in case. I think we'll... where is it? I think we only have one shot left, right? You have one bullet, because we used one in the other shootout. Walk slow. It might be dangerous. Alright, well, I turned off our run button. Alright. Go out to the west side of the island. Okay, can't go left. I'm gonna walk. It suggested walking, so I'm gonna walk. Rubber dinghy. It's deflated and broken. Small white flowers blossom all around you. Oh, we saw that sequence earlier where they're the white flowers on the roof with Classe, right? But we didn't have enough reaction speed to catch one. And there it is. There's somebody with the gun. Wearing a communist hat, maybe. Alright, so, I mean, all signs point to this is the murderer. Time to establish motive.
An old man, wearing tracksuit trousers, leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth.
The deserter. Early context from me, or early thoughts from me. So it's already labeled as deserter, which would be the opposite of what I would think. in terms of... So, this appears to be an old communist soldier from before Revachol, or when Revachol was getting bombed by the Coalition, except, and still loyal to the communist ideals, which is reminiscent of World War II holdouts. There were a lot of Japanese World War II holdouts who hid on the islands for decades. I think the last holdout was not discovered or stopped doing attacks until, I want to say, the late 70s. And so there were a lot of these Japanese holdouts, and so that seemed to be the idea here. But those were loyalists. Those were not deserters.
Then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp.
Aye.
He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
This man hates everything. Are you the fire guy? You've retained your eyesight? Did you close the blast door? Nice gun you got there. Sorry, I need to put down the guns. We can talk further. We're here with the police. Or sorry, we're with the police. I'm with the police. You can keep the gun, but keep it down. Not one move. All right. Let's start with nice gun you got there.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Sounds kind of like a familiar voice actor, unlike everybody else in the game. Is that a Belle McGrave, the gun we're looking for?
It's a 3-Angong 446.
Still a breech loader, though?
Southeast Samaran made. Exotic. Must be defunct too. No modern rifle manufacturer of that name springs to mind.
Ooh. So obscure that our encyclopedia doesn't know it?
A Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid.
Okay. Intra-communist ties.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
The commune? Weapon stayed true to you. Mine has stayed true to me too. Show him the gun in your hand. Let's ask about the commune first.
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk wiped from the board.
He's right. Almost no one remembers there was a third metastasis of the world revolution in the Safre Empire, extinguished in 06.
Challenging encyclopedia. Not wiped from the board. I remember it. Let it vanish. Interesting, let it vanish. I remember it.
They wouldn't like hearing their name in your mouth. Damn dog.
The time will
He
come
hates everything.
to win his trust, comrade. It is not now.
Not now.
You need to take care of the gun first.
Your weapon has stayed true to you. Mine has stayed true too.
Yes, I bet you've killed a lot of people with it. You fascist fuck.
I've only killed like 4 people with it.
Have you come to make me one of them?
We have
He's
come
gripping the
for a
rifle
few
tightens.
questions. Nothing more.
Puts his hand in the
If you do
holster.
not comply, we will take you in. Do you understand?
Another spitball lands in the ashes. That's all the answer he gives.
Alright. Did you close the blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
Fueled the generator, used the console?
I should have burned that console down.
How'd you know I was coming?
Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the water.
He says he knew we were coming because of the church music?
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
Oh no, it's the music we played while on the boat ride. Tell you should play Sad FM. But you didn't say that, Kim. It was not rock and roll, it was Sad FM. It was not reactionary, it was cool. Say nothing. I don't think Kim said that.
I did.
He did?
We have entered a world where he said you shouldn't. It is the only world.
Oh, that's funny. You didn't say that, I did. Nope, now he did. Now he did. It is the only world now. Kim's authority. He rejects my reality and substitutes it with his own. It was Sad FM, not rock and roll.
Sad FM, huh? I always hated that station. Phlegmatic, counter-revolutionary dirges. Sadness is a mental illness. A weapon of the bourgeoisie.
Sadness is a mental illness, but he's full of hatred.
The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate. Hip gyrating, mental illness music.
So he hates the fascists, but they're right about rock and roll. You've retained your eyesight.
My eyesight?
He clears his throat.
Helps me see all the shit.
And are you the fire guy? The kids called him the fire guy, driving them off the island.
The what now? I can't hear you.
Did you recently tell 2 kids about their fire? 2 twins.
I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position. Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up.
Alright, so we need to put the gun down so we can talk further with the police. And with the police, you can keep the gun, keep it down, not one move. I feel like this might actually go better than put the gun down. Oh, wait, actually... But so put it down versus keep it down. Maybe if we say put the gun down, we can still pass, like, a rhetoric check. We'll try put the gun down instead of keep it down.
The lieutenant pulls his pistol from the holster.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
Okay, but keep the gun down when we talk. Kim, turn to the lieutenant. I am an enemy commander of rank. Put it down. And we got +1 because we know about the Yao commune. Yeah, 92% chance with our authority. Can we put any more points into authority? I can put 1 more point into authority. But maybe we'll just let the 92% go off.
The words,
there we go.
I am an enemy commander, sound cold as iron from your lungs. The old man still hugs his gun.
And what rank would that be, dog?
Lieutenant, Lieutenant Ephrata, Lieutenant Double Ephrata.
A big wheel of the 4th Regiment of the Pederast Army. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway.
I still love the Ephrata concept. My favorite concept in the whole game.
It's out of bullets.
Alright, he lays it down, stares at it.
He stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound. A strange sadness, like a song.
What'd you say?
The future teaches you to be alone.
The future teaches you to be alone.
The present.
Let him say it. I'll say it. The present.
The present to be afraid and cold.
Okay, so this is part of some saying. Future teaches you to be alone. The present to be afraid and cold. The future teaches you... Pick up the gun lying in the sand. Who are you? What have you been using this gun for? That's it for now, old man! Stay put! Alright. Those words. The future teaches you.
Real music.
Oh, it's part of a song.
Brilliant kult. That's La Revacholière, not your rock and roll misanthropy. Chanson de soldat of the black and whites.
Marching song.
Marching song.
Forget about that for a moment. You need to address that remark first.
I know, La Revachol. It's the marching song of the World Revolution. Not misanthrope. I'm half-dead police officers just doing their job. Yeah, I know, La Revachol. It's the marching song of the World Revolution.
There you go. 1 of 3. In Grad, they sang Brave Children, favorites of history. And in Sinyao, it was... some Samaran shit, I guess.
Alright, so all of the communist marching songs, 3 big ones.
In Sinyao, they sang Boy with a Scythe, Golden Sun.
Alright, it was Boy with a Scythe. Heard that name somewhere in a dream. How's it go, the song? Alright, it was Boy with a Scythe.
I fucking know what they say. I watched those little fuckers die in my arms. Little ones came to help us. Got cut to shreds. You don't fucking tell me what they sang.
Wonder if that'll actually give me a negative bonus at some point. Alright. Heard that name somewhere.
Everyone has. They named a fucking perfume after it.
I've talked to the city.
Talk to her?
Get these cold spells. Yes, in the church. Get these cold spells. My shivers.
It's the drugs you're all on. Druggies, winos, and whores.
But I'm not on drugs right now. We haven't used any drugs or alcohol.
There was something there when he said, talked to her. He was curious. All around you.
There's our shivers.
Circulates the islet, carrying little swallows and black-beaked seagulls in its slow drift. They all, every one of them.
Right now. Well, I can't control the fact we were a big alcoholic and drug user before the game started, but I've been able to control it since then. What? What? Every bird?
Keep their distance.
I said I've talked to her, you were curious. No, he was just confused, let it go. I said I've talked to her, you were curious.
I've seen kids lose their minds and start talking to the city, asking it to protect them when the shelling gets bad, calling it La Revacholière. Cities can't talk. It's bourgeois idealism. I don't want to talk about this shit anymore.
Okay. Can we level our shivers anymore? One more time. How's it go, the song?
How did it go? Something about shooting rabbits. I don't know. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. It's gone now.
Can I make him more upset by remembering the lyrics?
So, if I can shoot rabbits, then I can shoot fascists too. Those are the next lines.
I have trouble remembering things too. He got upset last time I reminded him of something he said he forgot. Oh, that was legendary encyclopedia, by the way. We have 15. We need 14. Alright. If I can shoot rabbits, I can shoot fascists too.
What are you talking about?
He doesn't recognize it.
Huh. So he truly forgets that. Who are you? Pick up the gun, lie in the sand. Sure.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stocked and patched in places with tape and wire.
Really patched up.
Still warm from his parched hands. Not the metal. The metal is ice cold. This weapon has been modified several times.
Inspect it closer.
The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. They say Triangong 4.46, Sin Yao Commune, for Safre and for all mankind.
More legendary encyclopedia. I know Syrenese? Whisper, Kim, I know Syrenese.
What does it say?
Safre and for all mankind.
That's what the little guys told us. Every day at 4 o'clock in the morning, they go on and on about their Safri, their mankind, and Mazov.
Mazov, the founder of the communism. Or at least one of the idealists. I said, tell my cat go to sleep. I can't even get Scruffy to listen to me. A cat? Cat's never gonna listen to me.
Those men were commandos. They weren't shit on a stick like us. They were small and...
He doesn't say more. Look at the butt of the gun.
On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burned into the wood. Triangong, 4.46 millimeter, made in Sinyao.
As he said.
No one said it has to be a Belmagrave. We were just guessing.
Okay, so as long as it uses the right ammunition, it's fine.
From ballistics, it could easily have been a Triangong, too.
It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanti Shanti. All it has to do is use jacketed ammunition. And it does.
This makes us look like an idiot. All it has to do is use jacketed ammunition. It does. Hey, this uses jacketed ammunition.
The right type and the right calibre.
He's liking this.
Rifle's been patched and modified several times. I think I'm gonna level our empathy twice here. I want to make sure we pass, like, challenging empathy checks.
I wonder how old it is.
The old man does not answer. He,
All right,
the
stow
old
the
man,
gun.
keeps following your motion.
So now we've got the rifle.
His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession. In time.
In time. All right. Who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross.
Dross.
Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol.
Or the Anti-Aircraft Division. We've got the Coalition warship hanging out here.
I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
Aye.
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the...
From the Insulindian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in '07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in '08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the Commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
All right, so he left before the bombing of Revachol. He came back after it was already done.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
I was trying to figure out. I was thinking. So this is about 40 years ago. So yeah, 43. How long you been on this island? You've been on this island for 43 years?
No.
No.
I've been on other islands, too.
Ah.
I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
You've been hiding for 43 years. So you deserted your unit. Where's this place, this island? Have you survived all this time? That's a decent question. Fishing? Have you concealed yourself all these years? You said this is your term of surrender. So you're a communist soldier from the Communist Army. Again, you've been hiding here for 43 years, but he's been hiding here for 22 years, but
43 years and 10
Okay, just
months.
hiding in general. That's insane. That's steadfast. I don't even know what this is. Steadfast, I guess. Let's endear ourselves.
It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
He just couldn't.
You couldn't give up.
He nods, but he can now.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding.
Fishing.
Wait.
Huh?
Where the afternoon
Oh,
breezes
shivers.
on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers, men, women, children, street hawks and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41.
This conversation has a lot to do with shivers. Let's do that last shivers point too, see if it helps.
2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects a series of burnt black letters splashed across the plaza mosaic.
So he was our old partner, right?
Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smoldering.
Right.
One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Now, they left, we thought, before we left, although maybe they were still there in a room or something. But yeah, well, it's still smoldering. We lit it on fire. So they actually, they left after us. the other cops.
Always waiting.
For what?
For her to return.
The return.
Who?
Girl child. Revolution.
I'm afraid she's gone. She better come. I, too, have given my life to communism. I dare not dream anymore. Nothing in history is guaranteed, but the revolution's still a possibility. Well, let's just say the girl child revolution question mark.
Always.
Afraid she's gone. She better come. I've given my life to communism. I dare not dream anymore. Nothing in history is guaranteed, but the revolution's still a possibility. Ah, okay.
No. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves.
So he says the return of communism is not possible.
The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
Tools to save, if I were to reference Guy on a Buffalo, would you know what I'm referencing? My best guess would be Jebediah Springfield taming the mighty buffalo, but the mighty buffalo was already tamed. He merely shot it. That would be where I would go, but I don't know if it's what you're looking for.
So that's why he's the deserter.
All right. Once a deserter, always a deserter. Don't say it. Oh, this is probably not good for us, but I'll say it.
I have done everything a man can do. What have you done?
This actually has Demon Hunter energy. I've sacrificed everything. What have you given?
We keep people alive. We help them survive, whatever the ideological situation, day in and day out.
Survive?
For what?
What?
All right. Why'd you desert your unit?
I was just 16 years old. 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith.
Lapse of faith and courage. Who says that's not the one they were going for, but that is a reference. Other people on Buffalo? Do they do that in Dances with Wolves? I don't know. I don't think I have another one.
You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism.
For a moment, he thought communism was fallible.
A second is all it took.
For what?
For reaction to take hold.
It wasn't reaction, you were just afraid. What's reaction? We're always trying to run away. When was this? What's reaction?
Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men.
Wasn't reaction, you were just afraid. When was this?
May the 13th, 08, 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds. Storm clouds.
This is what YouTube, I don't really have time to look at right now, but maybe later.
Dark magic.
Dark magic, the shelling.
The combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the Flak Tower.
All right. Capitalism rips apart communism.
Huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon. But I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
He was right.
A terrible shame still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became.
You didn't go to the map room. I wish this scene was framed slightly differently. I wish the camera was a little further right. So that, you know, like our authority check here wasn't covering him up, right? There's all this camera space over here. If we were just panned a little further to the right so that the characters were centered around here, it'd be better. Oh well. You ain't go to the map room.
No. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse frightened at the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring.
What was that? It's the aerostatics.
Airships.
Right.
I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too. Shattered.
The chain was submerged. Still is, right?
They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality.
Left them without ideological direction. I'd seen it. That's definitely enough now. Wait, seen what?
The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed.
Wait, I'm not sure if I get on. The mask of humanity fall from capital. Has to take it off to kill everyone. So, the mask of humanity falls off capitalism. Has to take humanity off to kill all the communists?
And
I
then
think.
you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know.
Okay. Greed and power. Sure. What?
That the bourgeois are not human.
You lost your mind. I've always suspected the same. Say nothing, let him finish. Definitely enough now. Well, we might want to endear ourselves to him.
Now is not the time.
I had to. I had to fight it. I could not stop anymore.
His eyes keep piercing your skin. He's looked some great distance behind you. He's shaking his head slowly, retreating from it. What's this island?
It's not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender.
What was it used for? Well, it was anti-aircraft.
The congenitally
Right?
deformed
Yeah, AA gun.
the second built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Against the whole world.
Which happened? You mean the landing, the retaking of Revachol by the Coalition?
Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the radio they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone.
I'm not one of them. Coalition military. Someone who's come to end this madness. Oh yeah, so who speaks like this? Someone who's come to end this madness. Coalition military. Murderers, I know what you mean. Tell me someone else. No, let's just say this.
You don't
Oh.
know. You haven't seen it. Iblis,
Iblis.
the black-eyed angel.
Shaitan Ahura, the Darkened One.
The Darkened One. I don't think we've ever heard this. We needed 13 out of 13 conceptualization to even figure that out. We could put the points in the conceptualization, but now we're down to 6, and maybe we're gonna need, reaction speed, or pain threshold, or endurance, I don't know what, so we're gonna hold off there. Have you survived last time? We say fishes, which was my first suggestion.
How does anyone survive? I steal.
He looks at his worn running shoes.
Now hold on there.
That's a choice. You could become self-employed. Create the system. That seems like a silly thing to say, but fine.
You're insane and
Yeah.
grotesque. Everyone steals. Vegetables, supplies. It's the life of a dog.
He coughs and puts his hand on his
How
belly.
is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter.
Hmm.
Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
So he might have cancer, but either way, he's big dying.
He does seem frail. Gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer.
Yep.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be
Nice. He's gonna sleep, but on chair, no chair. Wait, where are you now? Are you sitting on the ground? Typing up? I don't know.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
We have painkillers, you must be in pain. This serious situation, you be looked over and we can do it. How have you coped mentally? Well, we got painkillers.
I have been running out of that stuff.
He smacks his dry lips. Well, I'll say you need to be looked over and we can do it, but I don't think he's gonna go along with that. I'm surprised he went along with this, though.
There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black.
Okay.
Administer morphine. Moribund.
Right, so he's on the way out, but he likes the painkillers. Have you coped mentally?
I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of...
He did forget a little bit of the song earlier that we were able to remember.
I don't even know what. Inferno?
Disco Inferno. Not appreciatively. I also live in hell. I also have holes in my brain. You notice the lieutenant is about to say something. Ah, okay.
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation.
A quarter of people.
Traitors. It's better alone.
Better alone.
I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on more and more each year. Ruins, glimmering in the dark, like a fucking merry-go-round.
So the city's still not great, but it's coming back a little bit. More people arriving.
It's disgusting.
Disgusting. Face parched from the sun and the wind. Winds of pain in there somewhere. So say how you feeling? I'm feeling pretty alright. Pretty alright. I was gonna say I'm pressing on my eye a little. I still had a little bit of headache in there. There's a hint of it, but yeah, I'm almost back to 100%, I think. Yesterday I was at like 70%. Today I'm at like 90%. Hopefully I'll be at 100% tomorrow.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
How have you concealed yourself all these years?
It was hard in the Tens. I didn't have partisan training. I was searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
So they were looking for communist survivors right as the war was ending type thing.
There were posters, campaigns.
Campaigns to hunt down the remaining communists.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins.
More racism, but it's racism. It's racism combined with communist friendship. They should have stayed 70% for taking Shaman 12.
And others too.
We got another shaman today, but it's not as good. I think it's, well, I don't know. I didn't think the other one was good either.
I tried to.
This one has some evolved stuff.
Soon they all went silent.
So they were fighting, but then they weren't fighting. How'd you get between here and the mainland?
At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now.
No one cares now.
I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted.
Why don't you just walk there? The weapons cache under St. Ghislaine 22B in the basement. Have you been there? Small bunker in the Feld building. Have you stayed there? Although that one hasn't, and nobody had been there for a long time. And do you smoke the cigarettes? Alright. Well, why don't you just walk
I
there?
don't want to. They're all
Traitors.
Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting, drinking, laughing.
Moving on after the failed communist revolution. Weapons cache, been there?
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right?
They were, but they were damaged beyond use.
I know.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
Okay. There's a small bunker in the failed building if you stayed there, but if you had, it's been a while.
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Right.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
2 young communists killed themselves after the failure of communism, I guess. Killed themselves?
A lot of our boys did.
Right.
I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
Okay, yeah. So we found the 2 young communists that killed themselves. Didn't like staying there for that reason. And do you smoke cigarettes?
I do.
Ever smoke them on the mainland?
Very good. Plenty of tar. I like that boy on the pack, too. Reminds me of the last century.
Nostalgic cigarettes. Tell me another thing.
The old man looks across the water at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
So now our last... I think this changed. Now our last question has become, I have another serious question for you. But we still got these. He says, is your termless surrender?
You're with the RCM. The coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. The so-called Lieutenant W. Freighter.
Love you, Freighter. That's right, we're with the good guys. We enforce the law. We keep these animals, which she's been calling them animals, from killing each other. I know what it looks like, but I have secret plans to turn the RCM into a communist revolutionary unit. We're with the RCM, let's leave it at that. We're not coalition appointed, we just try to help people. Well, we kind of are coalition appointed, that's where we get our power from. Well, I kind of like, we enforce the law, keep the animals from killing each other, just because he's been calling them animals. Might play into his ideology, without saying we have secret communist plans. I want to see what he thinks of this line.
You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International. The enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, Le Parti Communiste dans ce land.
We did do the Moralist quest line.
Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
This plays into something I said right at the very start of this conversation. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. And so I mentioned all the Japanese holdouts after World War II. Several of those, including one that was very, very late in I think, the 70s, his superior officer was still alive, and they were able to get his superior officer to come relieve him of duty. The superior officer was, like in their 80s at that point, or maybe even 90s, but they got him to come out, and that was the only way they got that one to stand down.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit.
But he's too old. No superior officers left.
Rene, the royalist on the coast, said,
You never signed the Revacholian Instrument of Surrender.
Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should have been burned alive. I answer to the Communist Party.
I can see per chair. Although it also looks like the eye might be a little tiny bit open. Fake asleep, keeping an eye on you. Alright, always. So what did this say? Liberty actually signed the document. Traitors should be burned alive. I answer to the Communist
Is
Party.
that part of why you've been here all this time? Because the party didn't surrender?
He just wipes the blood from his chin.
Honorable. Well, that's insane. Understood. Right, and yeah, this still plays into holdout ideology. Well, I'll say honorable.
Honor is a feudal atavism. My motive is class.
And yeah, after all this, so you're a communist soldier from the Communist Army.
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
Alright. Said you were trained and assigned to the Defense Corps.
Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
Alright, what does a political commissar do?
The old man does not answer. He tilts his silver head and looks at the reeds. You see a small tremor pass through his legs.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the ideology of the commune.
Okay.
Scientific communism. A commissaire politique is a knight philosopher of the revolution. A future human.
A future human.
He was like a cleric, a shepherd.
So you were like a priest?
No.
Nah.
The opposite of that. A future human, not a human of the past.
Interesting. Can we look at the other line?
He was like a cleric.
Really now?
Okay, then. Over-mystified that a bit.
Over-mystified that a bit, says Inland Empire. Alright. Means you're a trained communist, right?
He nods slowly. Then another tremor.
Right, so this is important, maybe. I'm also a communist. I'm a moralist, which we've done the moralism quest line, but he won't like that. I'm revolutionary too. Today, the real revolutionizing is done by entrepreneurs. That's the ultra-liberal. I'm not really into politics myself, say nothing. So, we could say I'm a moralist, although it may ruin our future checks with this guy. Oh well.
No, you're not. You're part of the meat shield. The human shield that surrounds the fascists while they kill and rape. That's what you are.
Guy.
Detective, we have not come here to discuss ideology. We have come to ask questions regarding a murder investigation.
The old man spits into the fire pit. There's definitely something off with his body. Something more than just metabolism, or even cancer.
More than cancer. A jitter passes through his lower body. He did say, yeah, there's something off about his body. He has a jitter. He was curious when we talked about our shivers, but then he said that he only hears about kids having the shivers. I'm wondering if he has shivers, but that doesn't seem to be true. Alright, I have another serious question for you.
There's nothing serious in this world.
Oh, dear.
It's a farce.
Alright, what have you been using this gun for? Assess his body language. Composure 2. We can put 3 points into composure, so we can probably pass this. It's not even a red check, it's a white check. We'll back out. Yeah, stay put, old man.
I ain't going anywhere.
Okay, so we did a lot of conversation there. Let's make a save before we do these last questions.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
Okay, what have you been using this gun for?
I've used it for killing people.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that.
Haven't done
I've
that.
used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
Both.
There is no after the war.
Ah.
Class war is never over.
His teeth are rotten black.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. Go in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now.
Careful now.
Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
You're saying you killed people after the active fighting stopped. Did you use that gun to shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor Krenel? I know you want to tell me. Have you killed anyone with that gun in the last week or two? Wait, so which one do I say then?
Nothing comes to you, and in them, a chill, like electricity running up your spine, crawling into your skull.
What's that, Shivers?
All is not as it seems.
Uh-huh.
Detective.
Disguised impatience.
Damn. Ask it already, he wants to say.
Yeah. Let's just say you kill a colonel of a security contractor.
The who now?
Right.
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
What, sire, says Drama? The corpse in ceramic armor, hanging behind the whirling rags. You shoot him. The fascist death squad took a bullet in the mouth the night of March 4th. His name was Elysium. I forget how to pronounce that last name. He was part of the security detail here in Marnez. A beautiful, strong man sent here by the Honorable Private Military Company Criminal. You know who I mean. All right. Fascist death squad. His name was Ellis. All right. The corpse in ceramic armor.
Oh, yes. That one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
Uh-huh.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession.
Okay, that's new task, extract confession. I'm like, wait, that's not a confession.
The gun. The murder weapon is the perfect opener. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember. Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first.
Go with something else first. I don't need your cooperation. I got this. Show him the gun. We've done ballistics. The shot came from this island. You're a communist. Talk to the dead man. He told me communism killed him. Come on, what am I forgetting? Hit yourself in the side of the head. All right. Well, I want to start with the ballistics, actually. But we could start with the gun itself.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
A jitter passes
You
him.
had direct visibility. They are
Maybe I should have assessed his body language first.
Specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You've been here a long time, Mr. Druss. Too long. You clearly need medical aid.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascies for fascists. Done his part. Just one thing remains unclear. The rifle does not seem to have a scope.
Oh, that's interesting. One thing, where's the scope? How'd you make the shot without a scope? We have everything else. He said fascist. You mean you killed him? Best uninterrupted line of sight into that window in all Marnez. The view is perfect with pair of binoculars I could have seen in the room. Right, but where's the scope?
Forget about your stupid fucking scope. I don't know where it is. Find it yourself. It's your problem now.
Huh.
He lost it. He just doesn't know where it is. Forget it. Push on.
Huh. Okay. View was perfect with pair of binoculars I could have seen in the room.
Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gosh is right. You have worms in your brain.
Sudden twitch.
Almost. He almost burst out there. Keep piling arguments. Anything.
Alright, well here's the gun.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around with that. Jumping hoops for the Liberals.
Musketeer pistol, front-loaded.
You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed.
It's the Hardy Boys. So he was watching the showdown, which he'd be able to see because it was right in front of where the balcony is.
Damn, he saw
Right.
you. He's watched it happen.
He watched the whole mercenary showdown.
He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. It's not just empty boasting.
You're right, visual calculus.
So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
We saved a lot of them. Their leader Titus. We handled that situation. It says don't let it divert you, but I want to be diverted. We could say stop changing the subject, we have another weapon, but I want to be diverted. We saved a lot of them.
You didn't
Well,
have
damage morale, though.
anything. I watched it happen. You let those murderers rip right into them. Got most of them killed. Even the fat one. None of those people mean anything to you.
Right.
The vultures feed on this city, and you prepare the meal for them.
Still wanted to see it, though.
Not getting diverted.
Push the gun. Only the gun matters.
You watched the fight. Did you like what you saw? The mayhem. It was all your doing, your plan. You got them killed.
You don't know anything.
All right. Stop changing the subject. We got the murder
You
weapon.
know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it?
I'm calling it. We have the murder weapon. Dramatically ask. You think we have the murder weapon?
4.46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it. This is it.
Okay. We have the murder weapon. Ah, task complete. Level up.
This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder.
Does not say more. Glances in the reeds and twitches once
This
more.
pushed him, but not enough. Just a little more.
All right. Your communist talked to dead man. He told me communism killed him. All right, well, let's say it.
Stupid twat.
Right, he doesn't love
The
this.
lieutenant looks at you with worry in his eyes. Not this, he seems to say. Anything but this.
I held a seance with his soul to show me the way, and the way leads to you. You effed with the wrong police officer. I have paranatural abilities. It was intuition. Had he spoken, he would have said communism killed him. So this is a good compromise between crazy and using our psychic stuff. Sure.
Intuition is an aberrant psychologism. It reeks of crypto-fascism. The parasite class use intuition to justify their rank in life. It's all just palmistry and magic, Earl creatures. Your brain is rotting from the radio waves.
He does not answer the provocation. It does not look like he thinks this approach worked. Yeah, this just did nothing.
Did nothing.
But still, somehow you knew it was a communist.
How? Is this the miracle?
No, the miracle is still waiting. This is the darkness.
But aren't I way out in the west?
You are. Soon it will happen.
Soon the miracle will happen. How?
Perhaps you suspected it before you took the case. The vision was you remembering that.
But this did nothing.
Was it supposed to?
I will look deeper. I'm beginning to think he's right, and this just is crypto-fascism. I will look deeper.
The inland sea is dark, vast, and on the surface, meaningless.
Turn back to him.
Standing there, slack-jawed, brain festering.
Come on, what am I forgetting? Hit yourself on the side of the head.
Here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof.
Which I mentioned earlier. But we weren't able to catch one. Oh yes, my head hurts now. Oh yes. Trivial logic. 6 points required, we have 15.
There were Maybells in the grass when you got here, and Maybells on Clausia's balcony.
I noticed that. My perception score was high enough for that.
And nowhere else. Nowhere in all of Martinez have you seen them.
Perception challenging.
Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now, they're gonna come up.
Of course, thank you, Head. And that's trivial reaction speed. That one we only had 8, we needed 6.
You got it. Remember, the boot prints were like no modern soul.
Real killers just wrote,
Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal.
Wonder what brand of boots you're wearing. Maybells behind the victim's window. I saw them growing here. Point to them.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly, nostalgic even. A strange mood swing.
So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away.
Haven't seen these flowers anywhere else. Young woman named called Classy, ring any bells. Flowers like these are behind her window. Haven't seen these flowers anywhere in Marnay's, only here.
They blossom on the islets before we fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May, before they ruined it.
South, the Bay of Martinez is dotted with little freckles of islets, turning green, with white flowers in white snow.
The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops?
I may.
Trimmer passes his face. All right. Young woman called Classy. Flowers like this are behind her window.
Classy.
He knows her, but hadn't heard the name.
Yes, Classy. You hadn't heard her name, had you? You know it, right? She had intimate relations with the victim, the mercenary. Hadn't heard her name, had you?
My ears don't reach the city.
All right. She had intimate relations with the mercenary.
With the victim.
Turns his sight from the whitening field flowers and falls silent. His muscles in his jaw twitch a spasm.
Don't leave any loose ends. Get him on everything.
What brand of boots are you wearing?
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa.
He looks at his shoes. Whatever.
Show me the soles, please, Mr. Doras.
Fucking imbecile.
Stretches out his leg. Black and white spiral pattern. Old running
The maker
shoes.
is called Sansarique, and the size is 42 to 44. These are not the unusual horizontal pattern soles you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
Does he have a second pair of
The
shoes?
size fits, but not the sole.
Drama easy. Maybe it's simpler than that. Who cares about the shoes? I get you without the prints too. Maybe it's easier than that. Red check, 97%.
Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
People change shoes. Doesn't matter. Doesn't mean you weren't there, near the room the victim died in, sneaking around.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints.
So I wonder if we can
ash
find the other
around
boots.
the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. Dripping with blood.
He was a rapist, not saying he didn't deserve it. He was a killer, but he still has protection under the law. He was a soldier too. He was a man. So we never it sounded like he did rape people during the campaigns, right? But it was never hard confirmed, so I guess we have to say 2 to be completely truthful, although I think he's not going to go along with this.
Beating us to the ground. Moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
So you killed him, so you shot him. Say shot him, not killed him. Say shot him, shot him. Alright, fine.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
His fists begin to tremble from the anger.
Hush. He does not need to be pushed anymore. The ball is rolling.
How did you... Just nod. Hold your breath. Just nod.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them. In phase. And I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth.
He visualized himself as the bullet.
I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her.
Then what?
Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own. And so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
A single word is all he gives. Okay. Plus 70 XP, another level up.
Looking at Dan, the victim and a young woman having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him?
The old man nods.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from. You can coax it out of him. The lieutenant's preparing the ground.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
Why were you looking at them that night?
I'm always looking.
Cocks his head to the side, turns his eyes to the city. Another trimmer passes right side, lower intensity.
Always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
And if you don't like it?
Click.
Pull the trigger.
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
He will not stop now. These dialectical materialist types never do. Exploit it. You got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift.
Okay, you're under arrest for the murder. What specifically did you not like about what you saw the night of the murder? And look at anything else you haven't liked. That's all for now, because I want to do that composure check. So let's get set up for that. Alright, let's get what composure gear we can. We've got a few things at least. What do we have composure-wise? We had to put on some composure gear recently. We've got that coat, +1 composure. We've got the shoes. Got the pants. And let's look at our composure over here. Uh-huh. I feel like we have one more composure thing. Am I right? And maybe we'll just go with this. Oh, I could put on the communist hat. See if that helps talk to the communist. It might. It might change the dialogue.
Minions of capital.
Alright.
What do you want?
42% chance. Assess his body language.
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble, who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island, he seems surprisingly fit.
That's it? Squint at him.
He's prone to erratic hand gestures and clearly malnourished. But that's it. You can see no more by looking at his slouched frame. The moment passes, and you say,
"Stay put, old man. I gotta put a point into composure."
Minions of capital.
58% chance.
What do you want?
Aside from the rare, erratic hand gesture, smacking his lips and despondently staring into the fire, you can only see that he is old.
Stay put, old man. I need more composure.
minions of capital.
72. There we go.
About this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. It's precisely what you could not see before. For a man who spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild.
He's surprisingly okay.
Indeed. He speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated.
Animated by what?
It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system.
Is he on some type of drug?
Great leaps of emotion, from anger to grief, despair.
When a foul temper be a byproduct of his life, dementia?
You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even, not senile.
I can say when a foul temper be a byproduct of his life.
Perhaps, but his seems more than that. The inner turmoil takes unexpected turns, as if forced on him in a way. In summary, you sense some underlying neurological disorder.
But not quite dementia. Sir Joe's, you okay? How's your memory?
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
Right.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course.
Well, we passed the check, and we're thinking it's not quite dementia, but I'm not personally narrowing in on what it's getting at. I wanted to take a quick look here, because he keeps looking at the reeds, right? I was wondering if maybe we could find the scope in the reeds, or something else, but I don't seem to see anything. What if we walk over here physically? There's a little wooden thing there in the water, but we can't seem to use that either. Alright. Well, we passed the check, though. Alright. So we're wrapping things up here. What did you specifically not like about what you saw the night of the murder? Been looking at anything else you haven't liked?
Them. Fucking. I didn't like that.
So you were jealous? Okay, then. You were jealous?
Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself. Drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore. And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second, writhing.
Although his head didn't explode. In fact, it was very hard to find the bullet.
That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything.
He shrugs.
He wants to see her covered in blood, to punish her.
How long had you been watching her? You want to punish her, so you killed him. Can we do both of these? You had feelings for that woman. How long have you been watching?
Since she came to Martinez. I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Feld building.
Right.
It was dark. Still winter.
Oh!
Didn't have a skimpy outfit on then. Just a spot in the night. Moving.
ID, good to see you. Right, so... Okay, so... Yeah, Class A... she had her fake passport stuff, and she hid in a buoy behind the Feld building, and he saw her, and those documents were gone later, and we thought Class A may have took them, but why would she lie to us? So he took them, because he saw her hide them there.
Past the Feld building on the coast? What was she doing there?
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared.
What do you think she hid there? Well, I think he took it.
Her passport.
Right.
And tickets to Villiers. And from there, to Cachet Brut.
In the free state of Seminine, hidden away at the edge of the earth, near the Pale.
Right, the hidden buoy she told us about. You looked into it.
After she was gone.
Did you keep what was in it? When we found the submersible, it was empty.
Right.
No.
No, but he
Why
didn't
would
take
I
it.
do that? I didn't need tickets to Villiers. I put them back. If I wanted to extort someone, I'd do better.
Huh, so we still don't know why that stuff was gone.
This implies that he's thought about extorting her. Also, a little inconsistency here. He was surprised to hear her name classed before.
Oh, that's
Would he not have
interesting.
seen it on the documents?
That's interesting. I was not thinking about this inconsistency. Checked the parcel, there was nothing there. You saw her name on the passport, but you didn't know her name was Classe. You didn't seem to recognize it.
Why would I need that trash? I'm not going to Villiers.
A strange confusion comes over him from time to time. Some kind of aberration of the nervous system.
So we passed this composure check, but I'm still not quite sure what he's got. All right. Didn't you see your name?
You didn't say Clausia in there.
Wait, what did it say your name was?
It was something. I don't remember. It was dark that morning. I only remember her face on the photo.
Right. We knew her fake name, but now I can't remember her real name. She's got like 3 names, and I can't remember all of them. All right, well, moving on. Do you continue watching after this?
I did. She had a face like an archipelago, with those birthmarks, and a body hard and lean and bruised all over, black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook, on the run. Revachol's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
You could tell she was a spook? From the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo, and glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on the radio.
I think there's a chance we could have not learned about this stuff, and so we'd be caught off guard here, but we do know about this stuff.
He's setting it up for you. The bruises. You can't make that out in a scope.
You could see your bruises through the scope of a rifle?
You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a blur.
72% chance. We may have to redo this check. It's a red check. All right. How does he know about those minute details on her body? But it's because he went up to the peephole, right? Right, +1, found the peephole. +2, could have changed shoes.
It quickly
There we
comes
go.
to you.
Bruise on her body. Any chance to see him through a hole in the wall?
Oh, yes. Cutting those drugs of hers into little lines with a knife. Masturbating.
Did you make that hole?
With a clip-point knife.
Good for listening in.
Uh-oh. Oh, no! For the first time ever, the game crashes. All right. It is Hearthstone time, by the way, but it's going to be another 5:30 start, just like a lot of disco days. Because there can't be much more here, right? We're just getting him on everything, and then we're going to say he's under arrest. And then we're still going to have to come back on Tuesday, because there's going to be a wrap-up after this, assuredly. That is 72% chance 10 times. Yeah, I could put on some reaction speed gear, since we know it's coming. We could just put a point into reaction speed. We've got a bunch of points anyway. Reaction speed 4. Sure.
Minions of Cap. Them. Jelly.
Alright. So we're just gonna run back through
since
Past.
All of this.
In the Free State.
Did you keep?
No.
This is also a little.
What?
A strange confusion.
You didn't say Klausya. I could.
You could tell.
He's the bruises.
You can't see bruises through a skull.
It quickly comes.
Oh,
Did you?
With good for listening in, too. For hearing the moaning and the snorts.
See you through a window on a roof?
like that too. Yes. Bending like a bow against the glass.
So you've been in the secret route behind the wall in rags. Those were your footprints. You just changed your shoes.
I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny.
And that too.
Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny the way light works.
The way light works.
You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
Those two took the cake. You hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick glance at you. One more loose end down. We're doing this, detective.
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
Good point. Oh, except...
That opened a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over.
Right.
I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
Right, so... Yeah, he had some keys from 15 years ago, and Gart didn't have any keys to that door.
Andy found use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the Union box window.
Oh, right, left spare keys everywhere. You wanted to punish her, so you killed him. You had feelings for that woman. So in conclusion, it wasn't about him, it was about her. You wanted to punish her, so you killed him.
She practically breastfed that man. You wouldn't believe the things she let him do to her.
They took the cake, it said.
You stare at them too. In your mind, her innocence day still turns to leaf. Airport bag in hand. Silks flowing in her wake.
The dream of my ex-wife. This has nothing to do with that. Try to forget it. Ah, the dream.
See you tomorrow, Harry. Her voice rings in the evening air.
Oh,
Burning.
she... You can go along with his motive. She did deserve a good punishing. Oh, dear. I hate women too. I hate women too, you know. Ugh. I'm not like that. I don't think like that. Men are insane. Shake your head. I'm not like that. I don't think like that.
No one gives a shit what you think. You and your cronies kill 10 working-class men a day. I've heard the statistics on Channel 8.
Channel 8 sucks. I don't know about Channel 8. All right. You had feelings for that woman.
There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough.
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping with water. Is he crying?
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know.
Is that why he left the dried flowers behind her window? There have been others.
Yes, over the years. It's not unproletarian to feel something.
That why he left flowers behind her window?
No,
Why then?
I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of her room on the floor, like she does sometimes.
And was this?
The day after I killed him.
And you brought the Maybells.
Yes. I don't know why I do the things I do anymore.
You wanted to console her, you wanted to manipulate her, say nothing. Alright, so I mean, he goes back and forth between crazy and not. You want to console her, sure.
Maybe. I told you, I have holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you. If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you.
Sure.
The silence. The lieutenant draws a line in his notes. then nods at you once more. One more down.
All right, so it wasn't about him, it was about her.
Her.
Twitching a corner of his eyes.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement.
Another level up.
That's it. Motive. We have it.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days.
She got away, we don't know where she is. She got away, but she let us here first. She figured there was someone out watching her from the seafort. We arrested her, Lime, not at liberty to say. Fine. She got away, she figured out someone was watching her from the seafort. Let's tell him that she helped.
Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope this last week at the island, like she knew. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring right into me. It doesn't matter.
Midtown, across the Bay of Revachol. Cold rain falls on 40-story towers. Above them, Lausanne Central Aerodrome, a cocoon suspended in the grey sky by a web of suspension wiring, encircled by hybrid aircraft.
40-story towers for the aerostatics. Look north.
On the platform, a young woman is
so here she is.
and alcohol. Yet still she smiles among the crowd, among the great ghost of the city she's leaving for another, far south.
Right, so she's at a big airport type thing, and she's going far south is her plan.
Smaller, distant, hidden, not like the great chandelier she sees sparkle in the night below her. Streetlights, towers, tenements and water, and across it a dark strip of ruins, barely visible if she didn't squint her eyes. There, on a dilapidated jetty in a nameless village, 2 police officers and 1 special consultant look across a narrow strip of sea. The ruins of a seafort stick out of the water, built by Philippe II, reappropriated by the Commune, then lost in the landing.
So this is the satellite officer. Who's the special consultant?
He's there.
Satellite officer,
What exactly, I don't know. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer points at the ruins. Behind that anti-aircraft something. That's why we can't see him. Special Consultant Heidelstam is optimistic. We'll see the boat when he comes. Let's go get a coffee until then. I know this interesting little place. Where?
So there's waiting. Oh yeah, and here's Special Consultant. We did hear this name at least once, right? But yeah, so they're just waiting for us to come back.
As the men go, Patrol Officer Minnow looks back over her shoulder at the crumbling fortification in the rain, like a rotten tooth rising out of the water. Good luck, Harry, she thinks. You need something good for this.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
Who knows what he's seen and done over the years? You could get more out of him. He likes talking. Enough. Take him in. Bend his arms behind his back and end this.
All right. Looks like this may be the last question.
The old man stares.
We've got everything. Kim's happy we've got everything, but we can also say if you looked at anything else you haven't liked. Catch him on other crimes, cold cases.
A tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It straightens his back. The familiar put, put, put.
The familiar put of hatred. More specifically?
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst.
Why?
Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries.
It's interesting, because he used one racist term earlier.
Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that social democratic union and the farce of a social democrat who runs it.
Mr. Clare's a farce of a socialist?
Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class.
So Everard let them build the statue. Let him finish to uninterrupt. Well, I'll say anything more.
Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. In tents, like animals.
Like the church.
Boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs.
Okay, that all?
The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht.
Well, she's gone.
Her lips. The old whore's gone now.
Right, gone.
The gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform.
But he's dead.
All day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins, too.
But Renee's dead. Does he not know that? Yeah, interesting that he could have shot Renee. But he didn't.
Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Quayamoran, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children.
Okay, then. Say nothing.
That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout
Lannisters?
history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt Frisell.
This is incest. Big Game of Thrones questions. I have some questions about Game of Thrones. Did you like Season 8, Deserter?
We did good when we pushed him under the horse car. Until, in the 30s, those disco whores.
So this is just him rambling about everything he hates. Just rambling.
Disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter.
This is no like Season 8. No, he did. That's his greatest crime.
There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people might be worth investigating.
All right, what about the disco? Big Danny DeVito energy. So about the statue on the roundabout.
Syphilis is a disease Philippe III contracted in a whorehouse. The statue is an abomination.
Abomination?
Bacteria entered his brain and made him squander trillions on sparkling wine, cocainum, and monuments of himself. His son, Philip IV, the insane, contracted syphilis in the womb.
That is technically possible, although Philippe III was not actually syphilitic. He was just mad.
And he still went on to govern Revachol for 25 years. We lost 2 million lives toppling that mode of government. And those grotesque statues, too. Hundreds of them.
But it's still there.
What a keen remark. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. Do you know why?
Because we got to take it down? Because the king is holy and his statues are indestructible. Because the king is holy and his statues are indestructible, but mean it ironically. Because the advertising yuppies erected a deconstructed version of it. I mean, this is the right one.
That's right.
Yes.
Some advertising cockroaches erected a cynical deconstruction of it. We tore it down with honest working-class plastic explosives. And there it is again.
Honest C4.
Art is a bourgeois establishment. It's an affront to humanity. Every gallery should be bulldozed, and the artists should all be given 30 years of hard labor in Yekokata.
Destroy all art, says communism.
Wait, the bullet hole in Philippe's heart.
Oh!
The statue had been shot. That was him.
This came up a long, long, long time ago.
It had to be. He's already proven capable of taking a far more complicated shot from here.
It was you. You shot the statue. It was a bullet hole in his heart.
I did.
Okay, right. Wasn't thinking about that at all.
I should have spared the bullet for a deformed monster of liberal capitalism. Shameful, really.
Yes, shameful. So many others to punish over the years. Isn't that right, detective?
That's it for the
fat
statue.
Union man let them put it there. Corrupt as he is. Probably
Fat
Accusations
chick.
of corruption. Push them aside with a sharp change of topic, officer. Put the heat on him.
All right. We can ask about Everard, or we can ask about Renee.
another hideous
Everard.
disappointment. Unions are the real enemy. The true enemy of the proletariat. Placating the masses.
Yaddy has a message. I'm trying to think of a follow-up. I'm like, yes, Yaddy, I did know that. Yeah. The, King, what's the name of the king? King Baratheon. You know? Yeah, he was a big bear. It's incredible. Just like in Star Wars, I prefer the unedited version. King Robert Baratheon. Bobby B.
Disappointment.
Bobby B. the bear.
He displays a familiarity with the Union's top brass.
Who's this woman? Claire? Huh?
That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass. I mean, the brains of the operation. The smart one.
Yeah, you really gotta dislike Jon Snow, you know. Everybody else was fine with just a regular wolf Sona, but he had to be special. He had to have his OC, you know, special white dire wolf. Ugh. Disgusting. The smart one, the other brother. The other Everard. Edgar, you mean Edgar, Everett's brother. We've heard about him a few times, but we've never met him. At least we don't think we have.
He talks a big game about uprising and social base.
Right.
They must have sent the smart one to some university in Le Jardin, where it's alienation this and hegemony that.
Talk to Edgar?
First against the wall with him.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in Martinez without them knowing.
Of course. Maybe the Clears asked him to.
Did you kill the criminal mercenary for the Clares to incite a riot? Have you approached
I
them?
haven't approached anyone. I hid.
Edgar came to me, huh?
Did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf.
He nods to you.
He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster on the island.
Fireman.
Told you. He has brains. Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. Thought he was a man of the left. Wouldn't rat me out. I was right about one of those things.
When was this?
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Neither of them
Wow.
can walk now. Could they? They were less fat then.
That's around the time the Clears came to power.
What'd you talk about?
Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform.
Even
Offered
though this was 20 years ago.
about the struggle. Flaunted his pink degree. Even quoted Marzov. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Marzov. Oh, and charity too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets and social housing. I still have the gas cooker he brought.
Got a gas cooker out of it, and he let you be here.
Let me be here. The ZOC is an unlawful successor of the Commune of Revachol. We took this fortification from the Loyalists. Even the Clares understand this.
Uh-huh.
They let him be here. Understanding was a courtesy. But why such a courtesy?
All right, did you kill criminal mercenary for the Clares to incite a riot? Well, I mean, we already established he wanted to do it because of Classe, though, right?
You know why I killed that fucker.
Right, exactly.
As to Edgar, I'm not doing anything for that swine again.
Okay.
What have you done for Edgar before?
Good point.
Tried teaching him some Marsovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. We parted ways.
Tried to teach him real communism.
Okay, he didn't do the hanged man for them, but he's insinuating something.
Insinuating something.
There is more here. You can feel it. He was not outright lying, but almost.
All right. +2, he shot the statue. +2, talked to Everard about the previous forewoman. And, yeah, who disappeared. So I guess he killed her? Maybe? All right, 97% chance. Sure hope it doesn't roll double ones.
The connection comes to you like a splash of cold water.
I love this.
Cold water.
I can't point up that eye with the green screen, but we rolled double sixes. Legendary logic, 14 required. Your total, 25. 20 years ago, when you met Edgar, the Clares didn't run the Union yet, did they?
He acknowledges it. Here we go. A twist behind the dark bend.
Who did?
That bourgeois cow.
Right.
Tiffin Holly was her name.
I don't think we knew her name.
Licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. Never seen a labor leader so hot on mutual cooperation and money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder and a deal maker.
She's also a woman like classy.
She was. And she was real soft on those money men. Had a Barbara Muskova bag over her shoulder that she liked to bring to work.
And then she just disappeared.
Called in, they say. On the eve of battle. Ran away. Vanished like a piss stain.
No, that's not quite it, is it?
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that wasn't really her daughter, was it?
No, I guess it was not.
Edgar had someone make the call. Why is that, Mr. Droge?
She couldn't make the call herself.
Here it is. The
Why?
bend in the river.
Because she was dead.
Just say nothing.
How come? Say nothing. All right, Redrick.
The cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal, grasping her tit and drowned.
Fell into the canal.
Or bled. Hard to say. It was a sloppy job. And a moving target. She was going home. Waddling. Dressed in yellow. Drunk like she often was. The ruins are black around her, and she had a yellow leather bag under her arm. She tried to cross the canal.
So, hey, we got him on a bonus murder.
Heading home to Grand Coron or Betancourt, someplace like that, where they build those new bâtiments for the people who flourish in the hell around her, and the ruins.
So here we have something that's kind of a callback. It's you killed her versus you shot her. And the last conversation, our rhetoric said to say you shot her, not you killed her. And then but we also have the option to say it was you! Make a motion like shooting a rifle. All right. Let's say you shot her just like last time, as rhetoric advised.
Someone shot her. Or maybe the cow just fell. My memory is full of holes. All I know is nothing changed. Not in the material base, not in the hegemony. There was no uprising. Just words. The Union fizzled, sogged. Nothing came of it. Nothing.
Nothing.
Edgar didn't keep his part of the deal. If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk.
Even though he's dying. Even though he's dying.
We would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW. You were in a war. You were on assignment. We could even extradite you to the Samaran People's Republic.
A degenerate worker state. Go shit. No, thank you.
Nah.
I'm Revacholian. My days are
Yeah,
short.
that's slang.
I will rot away here, in a moral intern cell. I will not testify to anything.
But you did do it. Okay, then, that's that. But I know. Yeah, I'll still say
I
this.
saw it happen, and I liked it. That's all I have to say. I didn't live and fight for 40 years to end up as a collaborationist. I've heard it on Channel 8.
He loves Channel 8.
AM, Radio Revachol.
He loves Channel 8.
Everyone is a blobber in this world. Everyone betrays everyone. They're all already locked up for betrayal. The best ones, the ones with heart, were slaughtered, trampled.
The same old freezing hatred. There is plenty here to work with once he's in custody. And the lieutenant knows it. He gives you a little nod to proceed.
Okay, we can still ask about Renee, but...
Glad? It's all gone.
Alright, so this should be the last thing. Renee, and then arrest him.
His lip curls into a
Alright,
snare.
Renee.
Every fucking morning.
Sounds like a character from Game of Thrones, eh? Filled with hatred.
Years, throwing that ball. One
He's talked about incest, too.
I've always loathed that game. That is not a working class game.
Don't care what they say on Radio June. He loves his radio.
Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A Patank maniac race traitor.
Right, so he talked about... he talked about not liking obsession with race, and now he's talking about race traitors. Not. Now, I don't want to know about, whoa, let's back off before you get too agitated. Now, I don't know about...
I remember him. I remember him from La Noce. Not him, personally. His make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the liberals came to their rescue. We missed one, that one.
Points the shaky finger.
There doesn't seem to be a single person under the pine today. Not even Gaston. Alone.
Just now, there's no one there.
Fat and plump. Like a pheasant. Just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Truss.
Back off now, calm down.
Shoot me.
You'd like to kill him. He's already dead.
Not yet. I like to look at him strut around.
He's already
place
dead.
The crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bomb melt in my mouth.
Man, that's really creepy, right? So for like decades, while Renee's just been playing the ball game, the whole time he's playing the ball game with what's the other guy's name? Gaston. He's staring through this rifle scope, watching for years.
Save the treat for later.
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think, no, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock, Renee. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls, and I suddenly feel...
He missed his chance. Renee's dead.
better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him around lately. Strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood.
Hearing it may destabilize him. You sure you've gotten everything from him?
Hearing it may destabilize him. Barthray says, yes, he's not playing this week. Lie. Tell me someone else. We've got everything, right? This is the last question. Like, he says, you really like saying he's dead. Well, it won't even let me say it until now. Renee is dead. He died of old age a couple days ago. May destabilize. I'm sure you've got everything. We've got everything. Pretty sure.
No.
Just kidding. Yep.
I waited too long.
You missed your chance.
I waited too long, and now he's dead?
You're right.
I'm sorry, Mr. Druss. I understand you knew him for a long time.
You knew him and you wanted to shoot him for a long time.
They're all dead now. Fuck it.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There must have been 1,000 black days on these islands. His health ailing.
You cared about him. I'm sorry. You okay, Mr. Droz? To go on. You had 1,000 chances to kill him, says logic.
And I blew them all. What does it matter now? He's gone. Ancient dust.
He reminded him of himself. The same hatred. The same. You try to think of something else, but no, it's just hatred.
I'll say you cared about him, but, you know, we know it. I mean, it's a weird care.
All human beings care about each other. I cared for seeing his head explode. Now, God damn this one.
I'm not gonna say I'm sorry, but are you okay to go on?
You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck and die. All the other plans we had. To love. To colonize the Pale. It's all fucked.
He's not okay. This is just another black day in a row of black days. Something strange is keeping him together, making him endure.
Glad we talked about
All right.
what?
Well, you're under arrest for the murder of the mercenary.
What?
What?
You said I would be taken to the...
What did I say?
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings he's been exhibiting. The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues. Like
Oh, and his position changed. Now he's curled up.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But
Gimmy's afraid. Do you understand, sir? Well,
no, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
first say, does it have room for 3? Perception, hearing, legendary, weight, 58% chance. I was gonna say we can't push points in the perception.
There it is again, to your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. The reeds whisper, stalks rubbing against each other. But then, in the middle of it,
What?
something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly being drawn against the strings of a violin. A very small violin, made of reeds and rushes.
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat.
Josh Kim, do you hear that? She said we can all fit there. Do you hear the world's... Do you literally hear this world's tiniest violin?
What?
What are you talking about? Is this really us?
Really us.
Your skin crawls.
Spirit of communism? It's the phasmid, just randomly in the middle of this conversation.
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
There's the head. And it is pretty big. It's like, I don't know. I mean, it's thin, but it's like 5 times the size of a person. What is that? Point to it. Blink.
It's still there, an unfolding mechanism
That being able to fit in one of those little tiny cages. Yeah.
in place.
There's its head again. What is that?
What are you talking about?
The giant stick insect. I don't know what the hell that is. The giant stick insect.
There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters
It's got a Cthulhu face.
straight at you, with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you, and your gun hand rise instinctively.
I've finally gone insane. There it is. I see it.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
But his eyes are good. Kim, can you see it? So Kim saw the light-bending man, but it just looks like a man. Kim, can you see it? You are my insanity check.
I can see it.
But has Kim gone insane?
4 simple words, thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there. spinning slowly, in absolute
This is for the entire game right here. I don't know. It depends on where it goes, but it's such a divergence from the murder mystery that's sitting right here. The murder mystery is here. Insanity and side quests is over here. Also, I wonder if this triggers if you haven't done the Phasmid side quest with the cryptozoologist or not.
Be very, very careful.
Takes a step towards the giant arthropod. Well, how? It's so it's almost an hour into Hearthstone time.
Yeah?
If this is more than 5 seconds, we have to do this.
What do you want from me?
Something is very wrong with him now.
It's right there. Can you see it?
Nothing. There is nothing. Only the reeds for him.
It's music, though. I don't know. Maybe if this is more than 2 seconds, we have to. And now you can highlight to see the whole outline if you're having trouble seeing the camouflage.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs.
Time travel law is complicated,
From
Yeti.
his head, like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints.
When we shine
As
the flashlight at it.
moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch.
Listen carefully. This is the Insulin Phasmid. Say something quietly, something like, approach carefully. I've only got electrochemistry 2, but we got +3 from Lena's childhood experience. The Miracle way out in the west. Wait, this is the Miracle? The Phasmid is the Miracle? Listen carefully. The Insulin Phasmid.
It is.
You hear the ring of his jacket unzipping.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open, extremely carefully. It's the camera.
Sure you won't scare it off?
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
Continues to pull the
From
lens
corner
open.
of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the Phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear.
Okay, take the picture. Let me approach it
I
first.
won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
He stopped fiddling with the camera, but he's not put it
He's
down.
letting his pride get in the way. You see the Phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
Who cares what they think, Kim? Just listen to me.
Understood. Of course.
The spindly mechanism turns
5
itself
XP.
back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air. Slowly,
Say something to it quietly, something like, I could just approach right now, but... You exist. Don't be afraid.
nothing changes in the cyclical brain motion of the creature's limbs. They are porcelain white on the inside and reed-colored on the out, beige, light brown, and striped. You are unsure if it is scared or not. Its insect mind is impenetrable to your reasoning.
Impenetrable to my reasoning, even my conception. Alright. Oh, and +1, laid the pheromones on thick, which we got from the cryptozoologist's husband. He says, save out your science knowledge. I know what a Lagrange point is. Is that helpful? Approach carefully.
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2
I kind of want to
steps
see what the fail would be.
the Phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. Sweat drips from your brow, soaking your
AT
chest.
thinks you inevitably fail if you haven't done some part of the Phasmid quest, you think, by the way. Huh, okay.
The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in and expel air. It's smelling you.
Smelling the pheromones. Yeah, the breathing system of a stick.
Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Smell me. Raise your hand slowly. Don't already know who I am. Okay, Kim, take the picture. Smelling me.
Maybe it is real, the pheromone.
About now, he is ready to believe in anything.
Believe anything. While we're doing this, the murderer just has run away. Yes, yet he talks about methane. Methane from cows is a significant environmental factor. So in your situation, things would get hot, get bad.
The insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. The ventricles at its abdomen continue expanding.
It's one of the reasons we're pushing lab-grown meat.
Breathing you in.
The
your
lunglets.
Sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze.
I think I auto-corrected to the other word. Raise your hand slowly. Live long and prosper, Phasmid.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe.
Autocorrect to a much more frequently used word.
Crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion.
Many eyes, many eyes.
Still around you. Suddenly, there is silence.
Raise the other hand too. I guess.
As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind of its own. They are white, like stalks of porcelain, knitting above you, praying to you.
That's right, pray, whisper. Don't pray to me, I'm nothing. Put your hands down instead. Whisper, that's right, pray.
Unwittingly, the insect continues its stridulations. As it moves, tuft-like structures, still pretending to be plants, rustle along on its joints. Perhaps it is preparing to eat its god.
Eat its god. All right, hello, I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth.
Stay on your tiptoes, look more closely. I'm worried this could ruin it, but, well.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish. The faintest smell, like you've never felt before. Like burnt roses.
Kim, it's foaming.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one, letting out that same smell, like summer burning. Apricot blossoms.
Apricot blossoms.
White blossoms erupting. A sensation like cold hands on your face.
Endland Empire 7. What are you doing? Tell me what you're doing. +1, spoke to the hanged man. +2, did not give up on the Phasmid. +1, knows of parthenogenesis. +1, nothing. Wait, what's nothing?
I exist.
Whoa! I exist too. I'm a detective. This is a dream. What is happening? What exactly are you? I have to say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts. That was all. I exist too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
Fire, burning. It's wonderful? I'm ill. If I tell you, what will happen? Is it wonderful?
Yes, holy is the Lord of hosts, and all the earth is filled with his glory. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist.
What happens if I say I'm ill?
What is your illness?
My body aches, I'm bleeding, I'm ill in my head, I'm insane. That's how it is for me. It's in my heart. For me, it's sadness, input after input. My body aches, I'm bleeding. I got shot.
I smelled it. As soon as you stepped on the island. Strawberries. Fresh bursts of red strawberries. Ripe, turning riper. Soon, you'll be rotten.
Alright, it wants to eat me. Let's shoot it.
Now I will tell you how it is.
Okay, intrude upon by what?
Shapes of plants and animals. And internal sensations. A swarm of sounds. Tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel. Weightless. So light. It only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul. And if I did, it would never ache.
I certainly do not have a soul? Type of animal I would like to be. Glad to be me. Incredibly sensitive instrument. What is going on right now? Glad to be me. I'm an incredibly sensitive instrument.
Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you. With all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must be like the highest of hells, a kaleidoscope of fire and writhing glass. Eternal damnation, even when you're sleeping. And when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great, mute empathy for you.
Mute empathy. Tell, I changed my mind. I want to be you. It's very disorienting at first, but I'm keeping my stuff together. The Phasmid sounds a bit like the limbic system, but not exactly. Alright, keeping stuff together.
That must be incredibly hard. The Arthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. When you're tired, when the vision spins out of control, the insects will be looking on, rooting for you.
I read ahead. I was looking at the insects will be looking on, rooting for you.
And when you fall, we will come to raise you up. Bud from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, because I'm just a leaf eater.
I guess it's not trying to eat me. We will come to raise you up, bud from you, banner-like, blossom from you, and carrying you apart in a sky funeral. So, insects devouring dead corpses and breeding on top of your dead corpse, bud from you, carry you apart in a sky funeral. They eat you, they fly away.
In honor of your shit, Lieutenant Euphrator.
Double Euphrator.
Together, in the face of total unrelenting terror. Day after day, second by second. Detective. Arriving. On the scene.
I'm a detective. Is this a dream? What's happening? Where does this come from? All this around us, the world. What exactly are you? I'm a detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose reward.
Right, the sugar. It mentioned the strawberries.
What were you born to detect?
Also that, also sugar. I was born to detect you, the killer.
He's in a bad state.
Disoriented, hearing.
Fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him, but I am not. I only quicken his deterioration.
You're destroying him?
Very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to interfere with the picture in your head. But he has looked at me for too long, and I am destroying him.
Killer keeps looking at the reeds. So the Phasmid is disorienting him, and he can't see the Phasmid because of this disorienting. Yeah, yes. Request you find a good stopping point. Well, I considered stopping before talking to the insect, so I figured it wouldn't take too long. But of course I'm wrong. I'm always wrong about disco. Is this a dream? What's happening?
No, you're awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real.
Him sees it. Where's this come from? All this around us, the world, the pale?
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily.
We need to know. Perhaps sent to us by a god. Then all we can do is beat our fists against it day after day with no answer. Well, we need to know.
You should eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Or a reed. Yum yum.
Yum yum.
Wait, so
So you look like a reed and you eat reeds. Too sensitive a matter.
Yes, they don't mind.
Have you ever accidentally had another reed, Phasmid?
Yes. I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident.
I woke up at the wrong time and ate my mitosis babies. What are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmadia, endemic to the Insulandian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molting, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys.
And buoys. Did it eat Classe's fake passport?
No, no one believed I exist. Almost no one. Until you came, detective. Dripping of blood that smells like strawberries. Across the calm sea. The first in 1,000 years.
So we've seen this happen a few times in the game, but that line did not match up with this line. That talked about us bleeding, and it talked about this being the first visitor in 1,000 years, even though it said it's been 350 years. The written lines I went unnoticed by the first settlers and land surveyors of the suzerain, also by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of occupation. Nobody's noticed it over all this history. Even the 70 islanders who came here first but did not stay have not seen
I
me.
have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government.
Four kinds of government.
Through scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Rebelshaw, district of Martinez, March 51.
Are you the miracle? It was implied by one of our checks.
No. You are the miracle.
You are the miracle. How?
The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while you are extreme, all-engulfing madness, a volatile simian nervous system, ominously new to the planet. The Pale too came
Pale
with
came with you.
No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
He says, I'm a miracle. I'm the revelation. My flashlight has a shoulder reservation. Unanimous agreement you're going to destroy us all. Wait, what is the Pale? I don't have that kind of power. What is the Pale?
It is a nervous
The end of the
shadow
world.
cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
I don't have that kind of power.
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident.
Just by accident, wipe everything out, replace with nothing.
I
How?
suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Only much worse. Wipe out everything.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Worse, Al?
Everything your eyes touch.
Jeez.
was right there. You had a nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if he misplaces us all one day? Or just forget?
Please don't blink. So if you blink, maybe everything will end. It's just gone. I've always thought this way, but I want to blink and undo 12 billion years of matter expansion. This is the gloaming I've been waiting for ever since I woke up in the hotel room in the apocalypse. I've already forgotten the whole world once when I drank too much. I'll be extra careful not to blink, stick insect, don't worry. Have I always thought this way?
You're only thinking it now. This is a revelation.
This is a revelation, ATD! Alright, I'll be extra careful not to blink, stick insect, don't worry.
Please be. Or one day, one of you will close your eyes and sigh, and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Kim, I'm having a violent seizure.
It doesn't look like that, no.
What does it look like?
You're just staring at it.
I think I'm having a vision about the final fate of mankind.
Okay. Is it somehow related to the case?
Sort of. Nah, I told you what it's about, our fate. The case is meaningless compared to this, laughed nervously. I've totally transcended the case. Sort of related to the case.
I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species.
I have to say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts. That was all.
No, there is one more.
No, there are no more thoughts. Of all the creatures I've met, you are the kindest. Of all the creatures I met, you're the scariest. Of all the creatures I met, you're the most beautiful. You're the kindest. You've told me things.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman. Turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Do it for the working class.
Do it for the working class. Do it for the communists. I can't turn away from my ex-wife. I'll try to turn away from my ex-wife. There is no try. I will turn away from my ex-wife. What woman? I will.
She was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
Okay, Kim, take the picture.
Okay.
Do it for the working class. Turn away from your ex-wife, who was middle class, apparently. All right. What did he say? Uncomfortable watching talking about.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot.
What?
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant. Hypnotized by the flash, it stands frozen before you.
It's better than the Bigfoot shot, or the Loch Ness Monster shot. Do or not, there's no try. Which, incidentally, then Luke does this to try to lift the X-wing. I can't do it. It's too big. That is why you fail. Depends with flash.
The sweat on your arms feels cold as ice, as if you're frozen as well, in the shadow of this great statue of chitinous marble.
I got it.
Creature's shape develops in the photo paper in his hand. The ghost of white streaks against the reeds in the sky, and you as a shadow before it.
For all time.
Slowly reach out and touch the creature's whisker. Carefully pet its scythe-like forearm. We got it. Slowly reach out and touch the creature's whisker.
The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the chitin curls into a spiral, like the tip of a poison ivy. Its touch on your fingertip feels cold, ticklish. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young vine. It's even a bit wet.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
Look at your finger. Wipe it off. Look at your finger.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen.
Lick your finger. Is this gonna get me killed?
It tastes like sugar, very faint. The anthropod towers above you. Tufts of reeds pointed from limb and head alike. Odorless, mostly comprised of water.
Carefully pet its scythe-like forearm. Is this gonna get me killed?
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing. Warning.
Warning. When your hand up to slender limb higher. I think this will get me killed. Pull your hand away.
A sudden shiver passes the limb. Looks like the creature is awakening. Wave by wave from its stupor. Some sort of countdown process is happening. That's all you have time to think.
Alright, back off.
Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
Disengage slowly.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface.
Alright, I am curious what would have happened if we didn't back off after the reaction speed warning, if we would have gotten killed. But we don't have time to check. It's like an hour in Hearthstone time. It's actually more than an hour in Hearthstone time. So...
And just like that, it's gone.
Skating away
across the sea's calm mirror, like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it. In the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
Class's stuff?
It's gone.
Class's stuff? It can walk on water? What's there in the reeds? It can walk on water?
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only... I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Amazement. What's that? The scope? What's that in the reeds?
A nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
What now?
Let's put his hand into the ash.
Some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good.
There it is, Class's passport. And the scope. And the helmet for the armor. +1 half-life, -1 suggestion.
Brother, you've managed to collect all the armor pieces. Too bad it's too late for the big showdown.
Don't think the helmet would have helped me anyway. Look at the wound on your hip. At least my collector's impulse has been satisfied. Sure, I'll have use for this armor in the future. Don't think the helmet would have helped with my hip.
It would have looked very impressive. Still, you found it all. Now your mortal coil is completely protected. Few cops are this futuristic.
I am truly invincible. Alright, well, I'm not gonna talk to him. We're gonna talk to him on Tuesday. Alright. Here, let's put on the armor. And yeah, try to remind me to look at Class's passport next time, too. There's the scope, there's the rifle. See, we just stuck on the wet lens. But yeah, let's put on the armor. Right, unfortunately, yeah, there's no armor legs, right? Which is a shame. So you don't really have anything that looks particularly good with the armor for your legs, which is annoying. Is annoying. Oh well.
Yes?
Alright. We got Class's passport to look at. Invincible except for the legs, which is where we got shot anyway, right? Alright, well. We have to look at Class's passport. We gotta take the guy in. We gotta come across the water. We'll end up talking to the cops. And I don't know how much is left after that. But, yeah. I did figure there'd be a lot of dialogue left, despite us approaching the end, because it's a very, very, very poetic and wordy game.